guys can't take care of yourself and clean up after your mess, what do you expect me to do? Huh? I'm not your daddy. I'm not gonna go and breastfeed you some spoons, okay? That's not what we do around here. We're gonna look at some tech deals, alright? And you make your decision, and I'll tell you the facts and my opinions. Howdy, y'all. I'm your friendly neighborhood YogertPC, but you may recognize me from Brick Wall. If you're like me, you like computers, but you can't give a dang about shoes. So that's why we look up. Let's just start with the good old-fashioned computer. And what I like to do is I like to sort by ending soonest and auction, because that's where you get the real getters. Wow, old computer top build nostalgia. Oh, okay, so $550 from Israel. Shows it playing Half-Life. Server, oh, that's... no, it's not what I was thinking it was gonna be. You know, this is very bog standard bare minimum. E8400 isn't that like a very common processor? Corporatia Microsoft Zajijen. Yeah. I don't speak Russian. I don't know what the hell that means. Zajita system. I don't know. Not a clue. Why would I know? But I do know this is a really bad deal. It's not an old-time beast. These games were like before its time. This is from like, what, 2007? And he's showing off games from the 90s. Oh, 5800 series. So it actually is a fairly high-end system for mid-2000s. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying it's not worth $550. That's very clear. You could probably build the same thing for like $100. Maybe two, if like you want to buy things now and you can't find the good deals. 3 gigs of RAM, 80 gig hard drive. Wow, I want a hard drive. 5870. Is that their high end? Okay, there is a 5870 Affinity Edition. The only difference is the amount of displays it can take, I guess, because the specs are the same and it came out months later. And then the 5970, which is double chip card. Remember when they did that? Affinity Edition always comes with 2 gigs. That's the only difference, I guess. It's not a bad system, it's just a bad price. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, this is what I was expecting. Look at this. Oh, some Canadian Stamford. It's about $400, so it's actually $150 cheaper. And this can actually justify the price because the parts are so rare. Now, it's not that good in terms of value. Like, holy crap, that card is just like a millimeter from the bottom of the case. I feel like that could cause a short. Oh, and ISA as well. So this board only has ISA and PCI for expansion. Okay, they're not going to show us too much more. So there's the ATI. Is that a Rage? Oh, so this one's a game port with like some speaker outs, or it's a sound card, I'm assuming. Is it worth $400? No, but there's not a lot else out there for that price. Oh, here's the low end or entry level Alienware Alpha. These are really cool. Wow. It's the i3 version, okay. The only difference, so I believe there were 3 models. There was the i3, i5, and i7. They were all running Haswell parts. So here's the 4130T. They had an i5, and I believe there was an i7. They all had the same, what was it, 760M graphics. 8 gigs of RAM, probably got a hard drive. Yeah, 120, that's probably an SSD then. I really liked that Alienware, like, couch-controlled thing. Like, they didn't do anything with that. The only competitor was Steam machines at the time, and that, you see what happened to that. Well, you see what happened to both of them. We need to bring that back. We need the couch gaming. We need to take over the couch market. Consoles will have literally nothing. Okay, here's so this is $360. That is an FM2, no, it's an AM3 Plus motherboard. So at best case, that's like an 8350, because that cooler is very stock looking. So it might only be like a 6300 or something. It might actually just tell us. I don't know. I'm speculating. Crap motherboard, crap cooler, crap case, crap power supply, a hard drive, and a CD drive. Processor's worth at most like still less than 100. Graphics card should be worth $50 or $60, something in there. Cyber power. Oh, a rebranded Thermaltake case. All right. What the specs be? Wait, 8 gigs of RAM, and it is a, okay, 4300. Well, I guess it'd be like a first gen i3, so pretty bad. No, this is probably worth like $150. I don't know. Whoa, an Atari 1040 STF. Oh, wow. You could have cleaned the keyboard, you know? Oh, 35 bits. Wow. People really want this. 300 bucks, as is. I don't know how to value that. It's cool though. Oh, great. Someone's selling a 3070 and a 10900K with 32 gigs of RAM for $3,000. Do I have to part this out? Is it even worth it? Well, that motherboard is good. Trident Z Royal? Fine. I mean, it's a look. It's just, it doesn't really go with the rest of it, I guess. It's your taste, man. I don't know. It's just, looks like bling and people like bling. Oh, he didn't even build it himself. He got it from freaking NZXT. What a loser. A year ago when he's done with it, he was like, yeah, I need the 4090. Or he realized that, wow, I spent way too much on this computer. I'm not using it. Why did I do that? Now I'm going to try to get all my money back. Either way, not a fan. If I were to part this out quickly, I would say it's probably only worth up to 2,000, given what it has in it. And our graphics cards, especially for these new ones, are still like really hard to tell for sure, because it's like they're never going to actually settle in a decent price. Like what, $500 for one of those or more? $600 for a 3070? That's insane. I'm not gonna buy that. You shouldn't pay for that. It's not worth it. Because that's way more horsepower than most of us need. I'm on a card leagues behind this, and I'm totally fine at 1440p. Oh, Raspberry Pi 400, that's topical. It even includes the crappy mouse, and it's 100 bucks. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what the MSRP is. And I've heard these are like more expensive or hard to get or something. Here's another one that's ending, oh, well, that's in a week. 65 bucks right now. This one ends in 13 hours. Crap, I gotta post this quick. Oh, here's a, Raspberry 4, except this is an 8 gig Pi 4. It has a little hat for it. Pi-Po hat. Ethernet port not locking. Oh, it's not as good as it was. I'm gonna charge more than I paid. Oh, okay. High power gaming computer. Is that an ITX or MATX board in an ATX case? You love to see it. Yeah, that's an ITX board with 1 stick of RAM, a liquid cooler. Okay. I mean, I'm not impressed. What are those, the spetches? Tell me the spats. $600 or $2,000 if you want to waste your life. 1080 Ti. Okay, I was a bit off. And a 7700K. Okay, I couldn't tell that was a 1080 Ti with the... Okay, I guess that is 2 power plugs. All right, and a back plate. Okay. Well, in that case, I'll call it 200 bucks. The 1080 Ti, because they're not that crazy anymore. I mean, they're still really fast, but there's way faster now. Is it necessary? Depends. Okay, and also the 7700K, about 100 bucks. I got a 6700K for 100 a year ago. So the 3 most expensive components is 300 bucks. Okay, we're being nice and give the power supply and case both 100. And then the liquid cooler, let's say 600. And a 6 terabyte hard drive, 700, 800. I'm just adding hundreds for things, but actually, well, in that case, 500's not bad. Wait, okay, well, it's 600. At 600, it's not a bad price. If it has a 6 terabyte hard drive, oh yeah, and an SSD, 32 gigs of RAM. Okay, for 600, this is really good, actually. Okay, well, fine. Yeah, you win this one, I guess. All right, after that defeat, I'm going to look up straight CPU. The lowest price by far, 5 i5 760s. Wow, that's $5 each. It's not a bad price, $5 each, but I mean, you got to find 5 motherboards to take these, and those are actually much more expensive, like at least probably 40 bucks per board. And they're also not that fast. They're faster than FX, I think. I'm not impressed. 4 i7s for 100 bucks. Well, okay, well, depends what you got here. Oh, of course, you can only read one of them. Okay, here we go. A 6700, a 3770, and 2 4790s. 4790s aren't that expensive. They're like, well, I guess they're maybe like 20, 30 bucks. Same for the 3770, because none of these are unlocked. You're not going to be able to overclock any of these. To get some life out of these, you might want to be able to do that, especially if you're just like testing them or whatever, like if you're one of me. I would say for 100, that's not a bad deal, but it's just why? If you need it. A regular R5 1600, not an AF, for $85, you are on crack. Oh, well, here's a 6700 getting bid on for $61, so that really helps bump up the deal of this 4 i7s. Hopefully you can read a little bit better. I'm testing this out for myself. 3700X for 110. I think that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, if you want to be stuck on AM4, but that's might be fine. Ooh, a 35 watt chip, 2.5. I'm pretty sure this should go up past 3 gigahertz. Hopefully all core. $25. Not bad. And then a 3600 for 80 bucks. It would $30 more for that 8 core. Maybe. You might have to weigh that one out yourself. Oh, and a 6600K for $31. Now that's not bad. Now I do imagine this will go up to like 40 bucks by the time it gets sold. But still, that's not a bad price. I mean, you're just on a regular quad core. That's pretty aged at this point. But if you happen to have, well, I mean, even the K ones, even if you don't have a board that can overclock, their clock speeds are higher by default than a non-K SKU. But if you have like, I don't know, an i3 6100 or something, this wouldn't be a bad upgrade. Not at all. I mean, you almost might as well just get a full new computer. But hey, if that's what you're working with and you're on a budget, well, you might as well be balling on one. And right below there's a 6700K, so about twice the price, and much slower clock speeds. You get the extra 4 threads, or every core can now kind of do 2 things at once. The clock speed is lower, but it's at 35 watts. I would be torn figuring out which one to buy of these two. Because sure, yeah, actually you could just take this one and clock it down to the same speeds. Now, this one's still going to have better multi-threading performance, but you could drop this one's wattage way down if you since it's unlocked. With this one, well, you're stuck at the slow speed, like it or not. Ooh, an i3 7100. One of the only i3s I'm actually sought after, or I'm souting after, is a 7350K. I'm sure those are probably still like $100, but that's the unlocked i3 KB Lake. Ooh, I want to touch it. I just want to all over that silicon. And now we have a Ryzen 2700 for $55, probably at least 60 by the end of these 8 hours. Actually, if we're lucky, well, that ends at 9:51 a.m. Hopefully, none of the PC people watching this are awake, and you can grab it for $60. But at that point, it may be not a better deal than the 3600, because 3600 will have way better IPC, like clock speed, clock for clock. The 3600 is better, but again, this has an extra 2 cores and 4 threads, so it's just something you gotta weigh. Oh, that's a toughie. Here's a i5 12400 for $150, and I think that's brand new. Then why isn't it in the box? Oh, that looks brand new. No, wait, it has thermal paste on it. That is not brand new. It's been used, unopened, undamaged. What? Brand new, without box. Then why is the thermal compound on it? Huh? Because you can tell when a processor's been in a socket. Here it looks brand new. I didn't see the thermal paste there. Let's play doctor. It's hard to tell, actually. No, this has been in a socket. See a little bit of indenture here. There's also something over here. Actually, that might just be thermal paste caked along this edge. And then that's why it's out here. So it's not brand new. It's been in a socket. Like, maybe it's never been turned on, but it doesn't matter. It's not in the box, and someone else owns it. It's exposed to the elements. It's not brand new, and do I have to go to PC part picker? Oh, okay. Well, 12400 is actually $190 somehow. Here's a 5600X for $115 almost dollars. Compared to the 3800X, yes, this is faster per clock, this 5600X. But again, you got those 2 cores, 4 threads. I think I would just go with this one maybe, because the only upgrade from here is either getting more cores or the 5800X 3D. But this is very solid still, especially for $115. Dang, okay. Or the 3800X, that's also a good pick for that price, about $110. The original i9-9900K. Has this been completely scratched to shit, or is that just thermal paste? I actually can't tell. I think it's just been scratched the F up. I wouldn't be too surprised. I'm sure this was tested heavily. But for 250, 260 or more, I don't know. Probably not. I'd wait till it's like 200 or less. Ha! What? Okay, this guy's ballin'. A 13900K, dang, that was fast. Modified IHS. Yeah, you've got a copper IHS there for that great contact. We've got it in a case. Is that a custom? That's a custom loop. Okay, well, yeah, this guy is absolutely insane. Is that a good price? I think that's actually a good price. Wait, am I just dumb? Yeah, the 13900 KF is almost 600, and the 13900K, this processor, is 600. I mean, the KS is the only one with the up, and it's an extra $200 for 200 megahertz. We haven't paid $100 a megahertz in forever. But that's good then. Like, that's a steal, because that's cheaper than it is new, and it's better. I mean, of course, you have to trust that, you know, he didn't break anything or whatever, or it doesn't come off. It looks like it's been sealed down, whatever. I think I see a little something down here. But, I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's got a custom liquid cooler, vertical GPU, and, I don't know, a case that looks like this. He knows what he's doing. Actually, yeah, that's, like, super cool. Another 3800X. This one's for 90, though. Ooh, a 3258 for, like, 11 bucks. Yes, if you have an old 1150 motherboard and you don't have a 3258, pick yourself up a G3258 for, like, 10 bucks. Get a dual core processor you can overclock the snot out of. Yeah, let's do it. See how high yours gets. Win the silicon lottery. And then right below it, a 4160 for 13 bucks. A little bit more expensive for this i3, and it has better multi-core performance than the Pentium. But this Pentium can overclock way higher and beat it out in some situations with just pure raw clock speed. And then you've got the i3 3220. Pretty much crap tier, bottom bucket, $6 processor. Yep, seems about right. Oh, and here's a 1600 AF. So the other one was what we saw was like 80 bucks or more. This one's only like 55, and yeah, these launched. I remember, I think it was like back in 2018, maybe it was 2019. 1600 AF for, I think it was like $75 for the performance of a 2600. It was a steal. But yeah, this isn't a terrible price, I guess. But 1600 actually is quite slow these days. Well, it depends what you're doing, but I mean, it's not as good as Haswell in terms of IPC. Here's a 3600X for 60 bucks. Heck yeah. Hey, here's that 8400 for, this one's 25 bucks. Oh, here's another one for 25 bucks. Oh, you probably could build that $500 computer for 200 bucks. Here's a lot of i3s or Sandy Bridge processors. Oh, there's a Haswell Ivy Bridge. Wow, these are going. Okay, 12 hours. Hopefully I can get this video up and these will be just about to go if you're interested in any of these chips. None of them are unlocked, so they're not really worth it. Actually, this 2600 would be a decent upgrade for my sister for 20 bucks. Actually, maybe a 3770 would be more worth it there. 6700K for 60, almost 65 right now. Oh, geez, Rick, that'd be cool. 8100 for $11? Well, crap, if you have some kind of 1151 8th and 9th gen compatible motherboard for whatever reason. I mean, this is a pretty bottom chip for that socket, but if you find a really cheap motherboard, dang, 11 bucks for a quad core, that's pretty good. Okay, here's a 2600K for $25. I mean, I don't think that's a super crazy incredible deal. I believe that's pretty much how much they go for. But there is a 2700K, and if you're trying to collect, you know, you want the 2700K. It's only like 100 megahertz faster, but for collectors. But hey, don't buy them all because I still need one. Here's a regular 3770 for $35. Now I don't know. So this would max out a non-overclocking board. Actually, back then, I think most motherboards could overclock. For someone who's not overclocking, this would be a pretty top chip for 1155. Whoa, i9-10850K for $211? That's pretty good. Huh. Ooh, this is cool. An old Pentium 2 Xeon 400 megahertz slot chip for 40 bucks. You just slot this in. Wow, that is a chungus. Look at that heat sink. That's cool. 400 megahertz. Nice. Ooh, wait. Okay, this might actually be worth something. Okay, so it's 8 gigs of RAM and a P67 and only a 2600. So this isn't a 2600K. So maybe not worth $100. No, but the motherboard is kind of cool. I'll give her that. 5800X3D for $300. I don't think that's outrageous. Yeah, it's about 300 new. It's broken. Here's a 30 or 8350K, so this is a quad core unlocked. I guess you would consider it equivalent to a 6600K or 6700K, but it's broken, so it's worthless. Geez, Q6600 is going for 20 bucks. What is happening? Oh, here's a 9700K for under 150. Okay, well there you go. Hongbao. Okay, this might take forever to get to you, but from California, whatever. Whoa. Pentium 4, 2.8 gigahertz, new in box, rare. I mean, oh, well that's pretty damaged. I don't, flex tape ain't saving no one today. I mean, yeah, that's cool, but box is damaged, so that's not as cool. And 50 bucks, I mean, unless you're looking for this specifically, I don't know. Whoa, 4770 with an Asus Maximus VI. I mean, this is like the best motherboard you could get for this socket. I mean, it's not gonna be too worth it because you're gonna be stuck on at best a 4790K and you have to buy it because this one's not unlocked. Oh, and you're missing a PCI. I just saw this. What happened? What did you do? Leave me alone. Get away from me. Help, 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 help. What is this? What did you do? What happened? How could this have happened? Why was it the other slot? Why wasn't it the top one that holds the big, fat, thick 4090 Ti Super? Like, what? Okay, yeah, no, I'm not so sure about that because it's broken. I mean, hey, you're not going to buy a motherboard like this and then not try to SLI some 980 Ti's, you know what I'm saying? And you can't. Whoa, this is an FX 9590. I have one of these. And this one's 60 bucks. I'm thinking this will go for a little bit more than that. I mean, maybe you can hop on this if you want to experience a literal heater that doesn't do very much computing. But I have one, and I got it with the motherboard for less than this. That was cool. 8700K, which trades blows with the 9700K. The difference, in case you're unaware, 8700K, 6-core, 12-thread, while the 9700K, 8-core, 8-thread. So it just depends on your workload. They're very similar, though. I think the 9700K tends to beat out the 8700K. Depends on the situation, but I think in gaming. But this one, again, under 150. Pretty good, huh? Yeah? Yeah. Whoa. What? An 1800X engineering sample? Whoa. I was like, oh, 60 bucks, not very good. But if it's an engineering sample of their high end, of their best from first gen, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Wow. AMD English sample. Untested. BS. Rare collector. What? Dealy Motorsports. Okay, so someone traded you this, perhaps, and you're like, I don't know, I can't use this. I mean, it's cool. I like it. What? A 13900K from Brazil for $35? Oh, 0%. Okay. Oh, haha. So it says here you get the 13900K completely new unopened, and then processor model i5-3470. So, yeah, you risk it, my friend. Go ahead, have fun. What? Okay, something must be wrong, because now here's a 9980XE for the same price from another person from Brazil with 0 reviews. What is this? Stellar notes. Perfect. Again, yeah, you take a stab. I don't know. You do you. 8350 for 60 bucks. Now the 9590 for this price seemed kind of maybe worth it because they do tend to go for about $100, I think, ish, but only because they're more collector parts than they are performance parts, you know. But an 8350 is nothing special because a 9590 is just that, but clocked to the max. And as long as this can clock to 5 gigahertz and you have adequate cooling, it's the same chip, but they shouldn't be 60 bucks. I think they're actually much less. I would say maybe like 40 bucks for one of these would be a decent deal, I guess. Ooh, a 10105T, 3 to 3.9 gigahertz, 4-core, 8-thread for 40 bucks. That is cool. I like it. So if you have an LGA 1200 motherboard and you want a 35-watt chip, that will actually still perform pretty well, given the clock speeds, depending on the application still. $40, that's not bad. Because I have been looking at one of these, but it was like, I think 60 or $80, but it was buy it now. Rank Force PC Tuning Kit Media, so an A10 7700K, used but great. What's with the Rank Force PC? This is a Gigabyte generic A motherboard with no IO shield and an A10 7700K. Oh, I just realized the price, $200. Yeah, no, don't do it, please. No. Here we go. Like I was saying, the 8350 should only be like $40. Here's a 6300. So again, essentially the same processor, just instead of 8 cores, which is actually more so like 4 core 8 threads, this one's more so like a 3 core 6 thread processor, and again, not fast. An i3 6100 will beat this out. But for $20, if you're just trying to collect them all like I am, I would consider this, except I'd probably go for even like 10, 15 if I can, just to get my hands on one. But a 6350 would be even a little bit better. Oh, wait, what? Oh, missing one pen on this 5800X for $115. I bet this will go up in price in the next day and a half it has, but missing one pen, I'm not gonna want to have to deal with that. I'd like my processor with all the pen, please. Okay, so you have the box of a Ryzen 5, and you're selling your 3000G, which retailed, I think the MSRP was like $35, but they have gotten more expensive, because I'd like to have one. But $80? Are you kidding? There must be a kid in me, because that is outrageous. Ooh, 3600 XT. Interesting. For $100? Probably not. But because it's an XT, it's cool. Has a little bit of coolness factor there. See, here's another... Wait a minute. Okay, they're different sellers, but that's awfully sus. What? So these are two different people. This one actually has some reviews. This is a zero review account selling one, again, in a Ryzen 5 box. Oh, because they upgraded to a 5000 series. Wait a minute. No. Well, something's the matter. I'm not going to tell you what the matter is. You tell me. Something's a little sussy here. I think it's a little weird and unlikely that two different sellers selling the same thing out of the same picture. Why though? What could be the motive? These are two very new accounts. Well, perhaps this one has 0 reviews. This one has 4. Selling the same product with different pictures, but different pictures of very similar angles. Like look at these other pictures. Well, first of all, you committed the sin of uploading a blurry ass photo, and there's still thermal paste on that processor, I can tell. You can tell more so there. Like, all 3 of your pictures are just a little different, but they're the same. I don't get it. Why? Don't understand. This is as perplexing as the Family Guy YouTube virus. Okay, here's a Q6600 for $15. I do need another one, but I'm sure you can get them for 10. Oh, an i5 8500 for $33. Neat. If you happen to have like an 8100 or even a 9100, this would be a decent upgrade. Actually, I don't know, because the i3s have a higher clock speed. This one might boost to the same speeds, maybe, but this one does have more cores. But I believe since the i3s have less cores, they have higher clock speeds, so they could trade blows. 4690K for $20. I like it. I would consider that. Ooh, FX 6300. With a motherboard for $40. I mean, don't get me wrong, not good, but not terrible. There's a lot of 6500s right here for under $20. So for whatever reason you want a 6500, well, the next day and a half is when to do it. Or I guess the next day by the time you see this. Unless you're late, in which case, good luck. i3, 7101 Ti. Yeah, the difference is the embeddedness. And the 7101 has a T-junction of 88 degrees rather than 92? Is it really that big of a difference? 4 degrees for what? Maybe because it's embedded? I don't know. But for $10, that's kind of cool. Okay, I'm curious of CPU motherboard combos, specifically ones that aren't too expensive. I think this is a bit overpriced. $115 for... Oh, wait! Why would you put that massive of a cooler on something that's supposed to be a thin client? Because I've been looking at these and I'm a little curious. Actually, I was looking at a very similar one. Is this 1155? Yeah, 1155. I was looking at the same board somewhere else, but $100 too expensive. Ooh, here's a 1366 EVGA motherboard. That's pretty cool, right? Oh, and you got triple channel memory. You got your IO shield with an i7. It doesn't say what it is. 6 gigs of DDR3. Does this one have USB 3? Three-way SLI. Alright, unfortunately this doesn't have SATA 6 gigabit, so it's probably not, it's not a 3x3x3 board, or whatever they called them. This is, I guess, not a very, I mean, it looks good, but it doesn't seem like a very high-end board. I mean, it might be. I actually don't know the lore behind this one, but there are better ones, especially if you're going to have one board to your 1366 system. Example only. But that is the same motherboard. So he used it in like a custom ugly loop, and that's subjective. I mean, I can see the appeal. It's a little ugly. Over $100 after shipping. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, I like this. Now most of you are probably going, what? This is awful. Yeah, but I need this. So an A10 7860K. So I believe if you can overclock this to mid 4 gigahertz range, it'll be as good as like their high end, whatever it was called, like the 7890K. They're all the same. Maybe the clock speeds are a little bit higher on that one for the iGPU, because this system is obviously for a dual graphics setup, because you have 16 gigs of 1866. Oh, you could bump that to 2400. And then you have an R7 250 OC 2 gig. Hopefully that's GDDR5. That looks like DDR3 to me. And the motherboard, the A86HI-AC. I like it. I would totally buy this, especially it's $50. Maybe it might be worth $50 to a PC hardware collector. You guys will understand, but for an everyday person, do steer clear from anything this old. But it is cool. I like it. Do like it. Here's a Maximus Formula combo. I believe I have this board. Yeah, I have this motherboard. What processor is this? A Q9450. I have a Q9550. So mine's a little bit better than this. Yeah, I've got the IO shield. This is 4 gigs of 1066 megahertz DDR2. So it's actually very high-end DDR2, but only 4 gigs total. You'd want to max it out with the 8. $85? I think I got mine for a bit cheaper than that, I think. But again, these are only for PC hardware collectors. If you want like a maximum tier LGA 775 and a best Core 2 quad, this would be what you would get. Because if you can overclock this 9450, it'd be as good as the 9560 or the whatever Extreme editions they have. The only difference is there are Q9450 and 9550S's. So the S would be a lower TDP SKU, but I believe they're also the same clock speed, so they might just be better bins. So those would be the chips you'd want to look out for, and I believe they're always more expensive. Hey, if you want a Pentium 2 system, with an AGP slot, an ISA slot, and 3 sticks of memory, that'll be single channel. Okay, $55. Well, if you want, that's very minimal IO, geez. Hey, if you want a Pentium 2 board, especially one with AGP, because I do know of one. I have one in the possession of somebody that I have access to. It only has PCI. So if you wanted to add in like a, I don't know, GeForce 2 or whatever. There are still PCI graphics cards, but AGP, that's nice to see. Okay, I found 2 motherboards just now. So they're about the same price. For one of them, you have a 2500K with a solid P67 motherboard. So an unlocked processor that could potentially hit 5 gigahertz. Again, it's still old. But not a most updated board to where, this has PCIe 2.0. So you're missing out on PCIe 3.0, I believe, because it'd be advertising it everywhere if it had it. And I believe that was the big difference between P67 and then Z77 or Z68 and Z77. So this is a better board. Actually, no, it's not. H77, but it's ITX. You get some RAM, but a crappy processor. But the size may be a compelling factor. If you want a tiny 1155 board, there you go. And if you want a big one, but if you want a good 1155 board, then you would want a Z77, because I would have the best compatibility with all of them. Like if you got this board, even beyond not being able to take full advantage of newer graphics cards with the bandwidth of PCIe 3.0, you would also need to upgrade the BIOS to be able to throw in like a a 3570 or a 3770K. But again, they're both 40 bucks, so you pick your poison. Okay, this one's from Canada. It's about 50 bucks, and it is an AMD board, M2N SLI Deluxe. This is one of the better boards for the socket. I feel like we could see one with an 8-pin power delivery for the processor though. So you have SLI support. This is actually similar to a board that I would get. It might actually be one like this, a 4600 plus. If this is from 2005 specifically, because I have 2 graphics cards from this time period that I need to find an SLI capable board for. What? Whoa. I just noticed the memory slots. Unreleased A9-9820, 8 Jaguar core. What, like a console? An RX 350 with working GPU drivers, 8 gigs of DDR3. 60 bucks. Well, reserve not met, but what? With M.2? Oh, no graphics card slot. Because the RX 350 is on board? What is this? Wait. Oh, it is an Xbox. Okay, it's an Xbox One and PS4. 8 core, 8 thread, R7 350. Okay, comparing these 5 processors picked at somewhat random. Here's that weird ass chip we're looking at. So it's clock speed, very slow. It has 8 threads apparently, and then the only other thing here that does is the 2600 i7. Okay, so it seems to fall in between the A8 7650K and then an Athlon 3000G that only has 2 cores, 4 threads, and very similar to this one. Even though this has way more threads, clock speed's quite lower. Almost not a fair comparison, but this is such a weird chip, weird board. Oh my gosh, I like it. This is really cool. This is what you like to see. Jeez, okay, gosh, I like this. Whoa, too bad this is $72 shipping. So this is like 140 bucks right here, maybe 150 bucks. But that looks like maybe, is that an Asus cooler? I don't know, it's just a bog standard liquid cooler. 6 gigs, Chrome heatsink CL9. So this is a very high-end board for the highest end 1366 first gen i7. And of course your picture is upside down. This is cool, but it's expensive and not worth it. I mean, if it were cheaper, yeah, or if it's something you're specifically soughting after. Also, this looks damaged, but I can't tell. Okay, here's the last section of the day. We're doing graphics cards. Okay, so I've got rid of the parts only. Graphics cards, auction, ending soonest. We have a 1070 Founders Edition. Be able to get a slightly better deal, but this is pretty cool looking. And compared to this, a 580 for the same price, actually a little bit more, then this 1070 is a way better deal. So we'll keep this one in mind as the threshold, this 1070 Founders Edition. Here's another 1070 for a little bit cheaper. It's a super clocked variant. Neat. So actually, okay, now we have this one. For 110 seems to be the price of the 1070s. Ooh, a 270X for 50 bucks? Well, it's my favorite looking 270X, but it's probably only worth like 30, 40 bucks at this point. An RX 5500 4 gig. I mean, it's not an upgrade from Polaris or anything. If you have, say, like a 1050 maybe, and you don't want to spend too much to upgrade, and you want a little bit more performance, this might be a decent upgrade. Or if you just don't have a graphics card, and for 60 bucks, not bad. Again, I'm gonna use user benchmark for this. Take all these numbers with a grain of salt. It just helps you get an idea of what you're looking at. Just a regular 5500 versus a 1050. So clearly better. 1050 Ti, still clearly better. Or between a 1650 and a 1063 gig. What was that, like RX 570? Okay, a little bit better than RX 570. Slower than RX 580. So yeah, they should only be about this price. Yeah, okay, and it's newer, so when you'll have an extra year or two after Polaris loses support, which may be soon, and I'm on a Polaris card, so that sucks. This card's a really bad deal. A GTX 1660 Super, 200 bucks, and it's OEM, but because it's OEM is why I'm looking at it, because it looks kind of cool. Look at this GPU bracket, look at that little half-ass backplate. That's cool, right? You like your card to hang off like that? Don't touch, remember, don't touch. Oh, here's another RX 5500. Except this one's way worse of a deal. This one's twice the price of the other one. That doesn't make any sense. Ooh, R7 374 gig. Again, 55 bucks. It's not worth it, but hey, it's the best R7 370 there is. That's just my opinion based on the cooler, but also a 4 gig version. They're typically 2. But it's too expensive to make any sense, only if you're collecting these kinds of things. Speaking of collecting, here's a GTX 690 for 100 bucks. Maybe. That might be a good price. Oh, wait, it comes with all the accessories sealed. Okay, that is cool. 100 bucks, it's a bit much, but cool card. Performance isn't going to be good anymore. Whoa, RTX 2060 KO Ultra 6 gigs GDDR6 for right now only like 140? Only $140 for this right now. I believe they launched for 300 and that was a few years ago, but that's better than that 1070. Even though it has less VRAM, it's faster. Also generally a faster card than the 1070. Plus it has the beginning of ray tracing support. Yeah, okay, it's faster. Oh, and the 1660 Ti also seems to be slightly ahead of the 1070. Actually they trade blows. Alright. Sorry, person's video I just ripped, but... Ooh, RX 480 8 gig MSI version. You could flash this into a 580. The main difference between the 480 and the 580, in case you don't know, 580 has a lower idle draw, but a higher power peak than the 480 does. But you could flash it back and forth, your choice, whatever. But for 60 bucks, actually 65, maybe. For that price, yeah, sure, why not? But I wouldn't go any higher. I'd definitely try to get lower. Here's another one for the same price, actually a little bit more, except this one's a crappy reference version. So this MSI one would be way better than this one. Even though it's a 580, again, you can flash them back and forth with the same card. Here's my card. Actually, mine's slightly better. I have the Nitro Plus version of the RX 590, which is the 12 nanometer version of the RX 580, so pretty much the same. 80 bucks plus 12 shipping. It should be a little bit less than that because that 1070 is about $100. And that makes this 1060 3 gig a waste of money for over 100 bucks. This 580 actually is a decent price at 65, same as the other ones. An RX 6600. This is pretty fast. And I don't know if at $155 if it's that much better. Okay, I'm ripping off Benchmark's YouTube video. 2060 versus 6600. 6600 seems to stomp here, and then it's also running cooler than the 2060. And they seem to be trading blows. 6600 is faster here, 6600 is faster here, 6600 is a little faster here. Okay, so the 6600 is faster than the 2060, and therefore the 1070. That seems to be a fair deal. I mean, I feel like that in the next 12 hours this price is going to raise to 200, and then maybe it won't be as good of a deal anymore, but that's not bad. Same with this 5700 XT. Pretty good price, but again, in 12 hours, that's probably going to go up. Another 1070 Founders Edition. This one has a little doohickey hanging off. Good price, though. Here's a 4 gig RX 570 for more than the 8 gig 480s and 580s, so not a good deal. A GTX 650, mint condition, hardly used. You're going to sell it for 140. Yeah, if you see any of these, insert bad name. Yeah, just ignore them. Waste of oxygen, probably even. Ooh, 2 PNY 960s. They're 2 gig versions. Not going to be very fast, even an SLI. But that is kind of cool. I do like to see it, but not really a good price there for the two of them. That makes each one 60 bucks. No. 1070 Ti. For 160, I would say maybe pass. Maybe like 130 would be a better price, or maybe 120, because I believe 1080s. If you get 1080s for this price, that'd be nice. 1050 Ti. Oh, let's sell it for more than we bought it for. Brand new? Well, it has the sticker on it, but there's no way this is still brand new. Some idiot just forgot to take the peel off. I'm sure that's what happened. And then they ran it for 5 years. Absolutely dumb. RX 464 gig for 55 bucks. It's not bad, but I'd like to see better. Maybe like 40 bucks, 45 maybe. And you'd have to know that you're looking for something lighter. Here we go. Here's a PNY GTX 1050 for 52 bucks. So this is very similar to the performance. So this will have less memory than the 460 by a little bit. Actually, it's a few dollars difference. I'd actually take the 460 over it just because it's more VRAM and a better cooler, better pizza, Papa Ross. Okay, here's some RX 580 4 gigs, so they're not the better versions, but they're only $50 right now. Well, actually, this one's 60, so they're getting to that point where it's like, don't maybe not buy it. A 3060 for 200. Well, these aren't too bad. 970 for 60. You can get a little bit better. Maybe $50 if you're real lucky. You can find one. Ooh, wait, Vega 64 for 150. That's cool. I mean, I think $100 is more. Yeah, because it's more on par with the 1070, 1080 to 1070 Ti performance. But these are cool. They have HBM2. They're hot and loud. It's Vega. There's two of them, and there's like only 64 of them on the planet. It was 79.50. Hey, I just got one of these in one of my previous videos. Check that out. Check that out. Way up there. I spent this without the shipping. What is this? I don't know what the heck these are, but if you know and you want them, are these graphics cards? Why are they PCIe X1? Why are there 3 big old heat sinks on them? They're from ATI. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I'm picking what you're putting. This 1070 reference ass, $220. Yeah, go kick rocks. 660 Ti for $100. Hey, that's pretty cool. I like to see that. Another 6600 for less than 150. That's cool. Ooh, 1050 Ti. Now, this one's very expensive, but it's a special version. So for 150, we've got the little tiny itty bitty little. I would like to see this with the little bracket included, but okay, because this would fit in like, a little Xbox really nicely. Ugh, 970 for 120. Yeah, no. This is twice the price as the other one. Okay, 1070 Founders Edition for about 150. Nope. Even though it has the box, probably not. GTS 450 from PNY, $100. Yeah, you're crazy. You're absolutely insane. A 3060 for $100? Is that legit? I mean, your picture's like overexposed and a little blurry. If this is legit, oh, nothing applies. Okay. Clover Media. Yeah, I mean, this is actually really good, except it's going to go crazy in price soon. 574 gig for $50. That's not bad. 1070 Ti for the one too. About $100. That's really cool. Whoa, MSI Duke 1070 Ti for less than $100. That's super cool. I want this one. This is the one I want. Maybe the Gaming X, but this works too. That is neat. I like it a lot. Oh, here's a low profile 1650 for MSRP when it came out years ago. Again, it's a tiny special version and I love these little cards, but that makes them more expensive. 150, it's just not worth it, but I like it. 1050 Ti for $100. No, maybe like 50. Here's another one, another MSI Duke 1070 Ti for 120. That's cool. I mean, the other one is about 100, but by the time in 17 hours from now when they get sold, they'll probably have some bids and be more expensive. They might jump in price exponentially. Here's a 1080 Ti for $200. Not awful. Meh. You do have to think though, these cards that came out in 2016, hey, they're still fast and we love them, but they're going to lose driver support soon. It's coming. But modern graphics cards are just too expensive. Like anything that came out in the last few years, there's nothing on the entry level or low end that makes any sense. That's a good mid-tier replacement for any of these. And if they do kill any of these cards like the 1060 or 580, they need to have something that really comes in and beats it for that same $200 MSRP, and they have to come out with new versions of these cards for like $100 or less. Gotta happen. Otherwise, we're all using outdated, not supported cards because these are affordable and they're still good. But we run into issues where you're no longer having the same feature sets. Like there's something, I heard this on UFD Tech on Carrera's YouTube channel. The issue is that Polaris doesn't have much DirectX 12 support. So newer games that come out trying to utilize newer features of DirectX 12, they're just not supported. However, even from NVIDIA side, 900 and 10 series graphics cards do support this feature level of DirectX 12.1 or DirectX 12.2. So that's what you're kind of be wanting. Ooh, a 1070 for $90. That's pretty cool. I like that. R9-270. I have one of these. I actually have this. This is 37. I think I spent a little bit less for mine. Mine has a little bracket too. Actually, mine's broken. I need to flash it. But even 900 series, like 900 series is about to go out the door. Like 970, 980, 980 Ti. And then 10 series is right behind it. I mean, these cards, they feel modern still, but they're so old. 660 for 30 bucks. Hey, maybe. I mean, I have one, and I could want to SLI them. Or 750 Ti. Man, people are still trying to sell 750 Ti's for way too much. 50 bucks. I mean, it's better than some I've seen, but it should be even cheaper now. It should be like 40 bucks for one of these. Even 30, 50s are massive. 760 from Sri Lanka for almost 100 bucks. Absolutely not. Even this 430 for 30 bucks. Hell no. That's like 10 or 20 bucks at most. I've gotten faster cards for 10 bucks. You can get graphics cards for 10 bucks. Okay, this is a much better deal for a 760. This one's only $45 or $35. Much better, even though 760 quite old, unsupported, and not fast. It's just for the collectors in us, you know? That's just really what these are for. I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm just telling you what looks cool. But you shouldn't be paying too much for something you're not going to fully utilize. But you also don't want to spend not enough and want more. Like for, okay, another one for just under 30 bucks. Here's a R9-270. This one's a little bit cooler. Wow, look at that cooler. It's cooler. 2080 for 200. That's definitely going to go up in price the next day and a half. Ooh, a liquid cooled 1070. For 250, that's a bit much. I mean, it'll run cooler, but now you need to put that. It adds a layer of failure, having liquid cooler, and you need to mount it somewhere on your case. It might run cooler, but it might not run quieter because you'll hear the pump. This is really cool. 980 Ti Golden Edition. I love this. Oh, the heatsink's all copper. This is so cool. It's too expensive though. $200? I don't know. It's kind of a collector's item. Who am I to say what is what? This is neat. It's cool. That's what it is. $1650 for 60 bucks. Hopefully it doesn't get too much more expensive. That's not bad. Here's a 780 for 50, almost 60 bucks. Actually a little bit less, yeah. Wait, Zotac GTX 750 Zone, passive cooled. I don't think I've seen this before. This is cool. Oh, that heatsink is huge. 50 bucks. It's not worth it. Almost 55. A passive 750. It's neat. 970 for 120 bucks? Hell no. Ooh, that's cool. 5700 Evoke. I think that's a little too much. 175. I feel like that should be a little bit less. Maybe that's a good deal. Okay, well this one's a little bit cheaper. Oh, here we go. Here's a 750 Ti for 40 bucks. But I think I'm exhausting what all is here. I mean, for $35, that's awful for a R7 240. Ooh, Titan XP. It's a little P for 150. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. A 290X reference for 50 bucks. That's cool. Maybe if it were... that's not an awful price. Oh, a 2 gig 550 Ti. I have two of these, and I got them both for the combined price of like $30 or $35. One of them for about $30. I mean, I got a really good deal. These aren't really good, but the 2 gig versions are less common. A 480. For 50 bucks. I got two 480s. I believe for the combined price of 50 bucks. I believe they're 25 each. And I think I sold them both for the same or slightly more. I'm sad I sold them. I shouldn't have. I could have fried all my eggs on them. Here's our reference 750 Ti. I do like the look of this, and that's 55 or 45. I mean, not very good in pricing. I mean, it's fine, better than other things I've seen. Ooh, here's an actually green 960, the 100 Millennia edition. $55. There are 4 gig 960s out there, and those are probably the ones you should be picking up. But yeah, 55 is not worth it. Even though it's a special edition, it's a bit much money. Ooh, R9 Nano for $40. That's really cool. Okay, five and a half days left. It's gonna go up in price, but that is really neat. Same with this RX 570 DE, 4 gig version, but right now it's only 40 bucks. If it stays there, doesn't move, that'd be an okay deal. Whoa. HERCULES 3D Prophet 2 GTS. card only, untested. It has a daughter board for the VGA. This is cool. But I don't know what this is. Profit 2 Ultra, 64 megabytes. Is this? What is this? Oh, it's a GeForce 2 GTS. I've not heard of GeForce 2 GTS. For $40, it's cool, but you can get it for cheaper. I mean, that might be a special version. But I think that's going to have to do it here. Oh, $770 for almost 30 bucks. That's actually not bad. All right. Thank you for sticking. Wow, how could you have made it to the very end of this video without liking it? You absolute dog. And why are you not subscribed either? Are you crazy? Also, leave that comment to boost me in the algorithm. Guess what? My channel died. You better help me out, otherwise I get sad. But that's okay. We all get sad sometimes. But we can't always look at graphics cards. That's why whenever I do this, it's a special event. Maybe I could do it more often. Maybe I won't for another year. Well, we'll see. Did you like this? Oh, did you? Too late. I'm gonna run off into the distance, the abyss. You're not gonna be able to see me. Oh, I'm going gone. I'm going up. I'm going. You're gay. Bye. See ya. Hey, in the video.